Welcome to the Calm Corner podcast. My name is Alisa, and I'm your host of this podcast and the creator of the mindfulness blog and website, calmcorner.com. This podcast is for female empaths and highly sensitive people who want to experience more joy and peace in their daily life with themselves and in their relationships. In this podcast, you'll hear stories to help connect and inspire, tools to help promote calm and joy in everyday life, such as mindfulness, self care, relationship spirituality, and guided meditations to decrease stress. Thanks for being here, and let's go right ahead. All right, calmies, we are in the in between years. So now is the perfect time to reflect, take stock of the lessons learned from this year to make way for a future that you want. So today I'll be sharing 7 lessons that I've learned and wish that I'd known sooner. Lesson number 1 is mistake happen. And this may sound like a no brainer, but if you are a recovering perfectionist like me, mistakes can be super detrimental. But this is a lesson that I've learned time and time again, and now I'm in a position where I get to do staff trainings, and to really normalize making mistakes is really important. To err is human. We've heard it before from poet Alexander Pope, but also know that mistakes are going to happen in the healthcare system as well. With medical errors being the 4th leading cause of mortality within the United States. So we know that it's not that people are bad or that they may be incompetent, but we need to examine our healthcare systems and build a safer system. So it's okay to make mistakes, and we need to look at how can we promote zero preventable harm from reaching the patients. All right. Lesson number 2 is to speak up. Again, this may sound a bit silly, but you might be surprised how many times in our lives that we might think that let's stay silent, let's not rock the boat. But it's important to speak up especially when it comes to safety issue. Now, I understand it can feel vulnerable, and vulnerability is definitely a muscle, but we need to have those difficult conversations. We need to care less about what others think, right? Yes, you may hurt the other person's feelings, but they'll get over it, and you'll get over it as well. So I may have shared in the past before, but what I learned from work is through the National Center for Patient Safety, Stop the Line, 3 Ws to raise a concern, is using what I see, what I am concerned about, what I want. And I was actually able to use this fall when I got bit by a dog while traveling in Asia. And when I returned, I was concerned that I might be getting rabies. So I actually used the 3 Ws in my personal life as a patient to really examine what are my options, right? So along the lines of speaking up, over communication is better than under communication as well. So do not underestimate the power of speaking up and communication. It is an important theme that will play out in many aspects of your life, both professional and personal. So take the time to hone that skill. Lesson 3 is to collaborate. So that could mean many different things. For example, sharing resources. I strongly believe in sharing resources with others. I know some of you are subscribed to my monthly newsletter or the self-care packages that I send out. And honestly, done is better than perfect. And it's important to be consistent as well. But I know life happens and sometimes we fall off the wagon, but it's important to get back on the wagon and do the work that is important to you. And maybe it could be sharing resources such as books, podcasts, music, something that you find inspirational. All right. Lesson number 4 is to advocate for yourself. So I used to feel a little bit um, disappointed that maybe someone didn't advocate for me. But honestly, other people have a lot on their plate as well. So you are in charge of your own opportunities and advocacy. So do take the time to advocate for yourself. And what this may look like is definitely negotiate the starting pay of your jobs and negotiate the benefits, right? Flexible work schedules, whatever you need to be able to have a better quality of life and work life balance. And I understand not all of us are in a position where you could choose the type of job you want because maybe you have other family members that you're financially responsible for. So I do want to acknowledge that. But if you are in a position where you get to choose your job, be discerning, right? Look at what is important to you. Check out the culture. Does it seem to have a toxic environment? Do coworkers or future coworkers have the psychological safety to speak up? Is it possible to talk to a few of your potential coworkers ahead of time? So those are just a few examples. And another theme along the lines of advocating for yourself is to seek growth opportunities where you are. So maybe you are in between jobs right now, searching for another opportunity. There are definitely free or low cost resources out there. Check out your library. Um, uh, YouTube, podcasts, right? We've mentioned it before, but you'd be surprised by the amount of available resources that you have. That being said, you want to pace it out as well. You don't want to overwhelm yourself or overstimulate yourself. So definitely pace yourself and continue growing. Have a growth mindset. And related to advocacy is perhaps being willing to relocate for opportunities as well. Maybe there's a promotion opportunity. Maybe you've been seeking another opportunity to go into a different field, pivoting, right? So sometimes that may mean a pay decrease for a little bit so that you get the necessary skills to make that pivot. Or maybe by relocating, you are giving yourself a pay increase as well. So when I moved to San Francisco, I didn't realize that in a year or two, I would be almost doubling my pay. So maybe there is a short term investment, right? Maybe you may not think about it, but the long term, right? The long term gain is also what matters as well. Okay, lesson 5, self-care is not selfish. So commit to a regular self-care practice. For me, that means daily meditation. That is the one thing that I do every single day, and even on my wedding day, got to find time to do it. It's my one non-negotiable because I know that I need to do the mind training. I need to grow in terms of my spirituality and having that discipline and commitment because it affects every single area of my life, and inviting that kind of mindfulness into the day, that is one of my highest values. Self care also means setting healthy boundaries for yourself as well. So, examining your relationships and boundaries, even if they're family or friends, because you need to protect your energy as well, protecting your time and energy. Take care of yourself so you are your best self and you can be present to others. Self care also means asking for help and seeking out support when needed as well. So this was a bit hard for me to do, asking for help, but now I understand the importance of it, of seeking out support. And I understand I'm in a privileged position where I know about resources and I can afford to get the help, and but know that there are, again, free and low cost options. If some of you need help finding out resources, then definitely let me know, and I would be more than happy to help. um, but one resource that I tapped into this year is through an employee assistance program. And I was surprised to learn that not only do they offer short term counseling sessions, but also a free consultation on legal services as well. So check out the benefits that, or the resources that you have that you may not know, that you already have. But also, there are resources with the county, maybe with the school that you're associated with, and the military as well. The last point on self care is please, please, please be gentle with yourself. There is only one of you, and it's okay if it seems like you're going backwards right now or that you're at a standstill. Take this time to ground yourself and get to know yourself better, and just know that you are doing the best each day. And I'm very proud of you. And just keep going. Don't give up. All right. Lesson 6 is be a student of life. I agree that not everyone needs a formal academic setting to be a student. Maybe that's not for you, but it's important to invest in yourself. And so, what this looks like is, um, I just recently enrolled in an online financial course because I believe in the financial literacy and the goal of being financially independent. So whatever interests you may have, you can be multi-passionate, and if you're able to afford it or save up in terms of sinking funds, right? You want to save up for to be able to invest in yourself because you are worth it. Again, be creative with learning, right? I recently reached out to the library because I was interested in getting a book on Hellenistic astrology, and they didn't carry it. But I also know about the resource with the interlibrary loan that they may be able to find the book for me. Turns out that there is very limited supply of this book, but the librarian shared a resource about Zip Books, and it's a grant through California libraries that they have, that they would be able to order the book on Amazon for you and ship it to your home, and you have a limited time to enjoy the book and return it to the library. So voila, problem solved as well. And also, with being creative with learning, network with the people, with the people in your network, whether it's social media, in real life, neighbors, right? The people that you may have lost touch, but you found them inspiring. Reach out. Again, it could feel embarrassing and vulnerable, but hey, it doesn't hurt to reach out and reconnect. um, all right. In our last lesson for today, it's okay not to know what you want to do or be when you grow up. All right. It may sound, again, silly. It appears to be the theme today. Yes, it's okay to not know. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay that you have spent thousands of dollars on a degree and you're not sure if you're going to continue using it. It is all right. Um, and just know that, what is important, that you check in with yourself, you follow your curiosities. For me, yes, I had been a clinician for 10 years, And the past few years I've grown interested in program development, and now I'm in a administrative role and experiencing greater satisfaction and better work-life balance. So what this boils down to is knowing your values. You got to know what drives you, what is inspirational to you, and find a job that aligns with their values. I think that is one of the keys to not burning out in a job. Is to have the values align, your values align with your work. And I know some of you are on the hunt for jobs, so I'm gonna in this last tip right here, do apply for jobs even if you do not meet all of the qualifications. Hey, it doesn't hurt to cast a wide net and see what comes back. And when you do get the offer, or in the negotiation phase, always negotiate. Don't accept anything at face value. Always negotiate, and learn to get comfortable with marketing your qualifications, right? Try to get a feel for the culture and your potential future supervisor, because that will be an important relationship. And this last tip I learned from Brene Brown is always ask this question at the end of the interview. Ask, do you have any reservation on my qualifications, and how can we address it? So I always ask this question when I'm in the job hunting process, in the interview. And I think it's a great question because it lets you know what the panelists are thinking, and it also gives you an opportunity to address any concerns that they may have. All right, I hope that was juicy and satisfactory enough for you. The 7 lessons for as food for thought for the year as we close out the year. Just to do a quick recap, lesson 1: mistakes happen, and that's okay. You're going to make a mistake. I'm going to make a mistake, and that's okay. We'll move on. We'll learn from it. Lesson 2: speak up. Lesson 3: collaborate. Lesson 4: advocate for yourself. Lesson 5: self care is not selfish. Lesson 6: be a student of life. And the last one, lesson 7: it's okay not to know what you want to do or be when you grow up. All right. I hope you have a peaceful and easeful transition in between the years. See you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. All right, that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. For more information, please visit calmcorner.com. And to download a freebie as a thank you, please go to calmcorner.com/freebie to download some goodies. The password to get to the site is calmjoy. All right, see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day.